around the streets as the Union troops came in. They were dropping to their knees, putting their hands in the air, many of them Christians, thanking God for the Union Army coming in, for their freedom. Who led them into Richmond, into the army? He went right over to the slaves. He became fast friends of many converted slave owners, and that brought him into contact with a famous story of Tom Johnson, a slave just outside Richmond, and the two of them would go and work with Spurgeon over in London. But the point is, all of those things took place in this ministry. And then finally, Emma gets to him and says, Dwight, okay, we got 3 children. Oldest was Emma, then Paul, then Will. Look, we have 3 children here. I don't want to raise them in Chicago. First of all, they lost everything in the Chicago fire. 1871, burned down his church, burned down his home, burned out his library, everything was gone. So he said, look, all he had was the clothes on the back. Emma put 2 extra clothes on their backs as she fled the home in the sermon. The fire started as Moody was preaching in one of his churches, and he said, I saw the fire. I said, guys, go home. And he said, for the rest of my life, I regretted giving an altar call before I sent them home because many of them died that were in that service, and I don't know where they went. So you can see the passion and the impetus that Moody had. So now Emma's saying to him, we're not raising our family in Chicago. I'm just going to tell you right now, we don't have a home here anymore. There's nothing to do. And then Moody, well, what do we do? Emma says, it's time to go home. And you got to understand the power of a woman who stands for Christ and the right thing. 2 things, Dwight. Your mother stood by your side after you ran away. It's time for you to go home and lift her hands and help your mother. Ooh, I like Emma. My wife really likes Emma. She gives me those sermons every now and then. Then she goes, secondarily, we're going to raise our children in and around nature rather than cement buildings.
Nice.
Wow. So Emma, they move back here. When they move back here, he builds the homestead. 1879. He builds the house. He builds the extra ornate window, curvature there, so she can look down upon her son that's wayward but come home.